You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Okay, I texted him a few hours ago. Man, I was out. And never texted me back. So I'm gonna fix it anyways. And we'll see. If I ain't mistaken, it was taking a 13 last night. And another Texas store in today. One I previously worked on. Uh, can't remember exactly what he said the problem was in it. I think the received it hadn't come back. I don't know. Got a 16 pill coming back. Guy says it ain't doing right. But he just upgraded everything, coax, antenna. One of these deals is where you don't know where he don't know where nothing stands. For says SWR under high power versus low power. For the increase of power, you have to adjust accordingly to what power you putting out. You have to fine tune your system. And of course I use a bird to do it. Turn it around in reverse and put it in the guy told me he was doing 10,000 watts the other day and he was getting reflect back, and I was like, how much reflect you getting back? Well, I don't know. I turn 10,000 watt slug in reverse back from my antenna and I get about 400 watts reflect. Well, that's bad. So he asked, what should I do? Adjust. get that reflect down. That's power that's not going out your antenna, it's coming back, and it's hitting that meter. It's the only way. It's like driving a car down the road without a fuel gauge. You don't know how much fuel you got in it. You don't know how far you can go. You just crank it up and go. Now, of course, when you fill it up and you write down how many miles you think you can go, you still need to fill up way before you think you're gonna run out. I don't know. This world's got completely stupid. I'm gonna put the this is the last of my, well, this is our last, but this one's only got a 6 HFE value on it. Pretty low. This is the last of the Toshibas that I got. It was 30 yesterday, 27 today. I don't know why. Last night, I swear I think it was 30 that it was checking. I thought surely when it come in it was going to be those MOSFET drivers, the way he was explaining it was doing. But after putting the FLIR on it, you could see that wasn't coming on. For say as the transistor, the MOSFETs was coming on. At least it was last night. Oh, yep. 600 watts. Okay, it's going to be on a little bit of angle. I don't know why that ain't getting out of there right today, but 1000 watt slug right here. I hope you can see that on that meter there. 50 watt slug back from antenna, 5 watt slug in reverse. You want this as low as you can get it, this as low as you can get it, and this as high as you can get it. It's equaling up to right there. You're going by that bottom scale. 0, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000. Oh, 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 a little over 600. Oh, audio, hello, oh, hello. Got about a watt reflect. About, let me play around with that a little bit. Oh, oh, the dial watt's working. Sideband delay, it's working. Pre-out. Yeah, it's working. Audio. Hello. Yep. Let me check your biasing on the transistors. Yeah, let's see, we equal out now. 0.540. adding a 10 puff to the input. See what that's, if adding more is going to bring it down or it's going to go up higher. Oh, oh, oh. It didn't really do nothing. This is a 220. $216 puff. Let's try this 200. Took it to 216 to 200. Oh, oh, that's about the same. Try this 180. Put a tuna in here in a minute. See how that works. Oh, oh, oh. The 180 is looking a lot better. Try 160. That's 160 puff. Oh, oh, oh. A little too low. It's about on the way to dip back up. It's looking better on the antenna. Oh, but it's going back up on the reflect mate I set in. Put a tune in yet. I got it tuned for right around 170 puff. Oh, oh, oh. Well. Audio. Hello. Woo. 102. Well, it's working, doing like it somewhat should, but it's got a little bit more reflect than I would like. Let me think about this. And MOSFET drivers are what's got a lot to do with a lot of it. But if you're getting 600 watts out, 1 watt back, that ain't bad. That's really good. I just don't want... Alright, good evening, we're back. Alright, I think it's done. At least in my eyes it's done. Is it perfect? No. Is it where it's going to be at? Yeah. Sometimes you can't achieve everything you want because of some of the restraints you got. He's pretty much wanting to leave this with these power wires he's got on it, and I think that's kind of the drawback on some of the power that's being put out, and being the way the amp's made. It's got 2 MOSFETs driving some 2879s, which is pretty much nothing but what a radio would drive. 2 of those MOSFETs probably putting out, and I have to say probably because I don't know. Out of all the books I've got, it don't show anything about the 67 with the MOSFETs in it. Everything in it is, the 2 or 3 books that I got is only, they don't list anything about the MOSFETs. Well, I have to pretty much guess on this, or go by what previous amps came in that was working decent, and I had no trouble with. I had to go by past experience, and what I got wrote down is the voltage on the input of this MOSFET is pretty much spot on what the other ones do. The bias voltage comes in off of here, goes in here, gets divided and everything, and knocked down with these resistors. Everything's working like it's supposed to by what I got wrote down. The amp is on. This is the bias voltage on it. That's just sitting out at idle, and it's showing a little voltage on it, but I don't think it's nothing to worry about. That's point. That's like half of a volt. A point half of a volt. It's pretty much nothing. This is with the mic keyed. It drops down, but when you talk, it that's when your voltage comes in. That's a 1K ohm resistor down through there. Kind of weird, but the voltage on the output section, it don't really matter if you ain't even got no bias on the input of it. The biasing really only needs to be on the output stage of it anyways. Oh, so my idle voltage is 0.5 5, 6, 7. That's half a volt. And of course when you talk into it, it's going to go down on this and up on that. It's just the way it works through this circuit. Audio, audio, audio. I'm getting right at 200 bird through it. Oh, yeah, 200 bird. Peak with this MOSFET driver on my radio driving it. Oh, about 520. And the amperage, when it came in, it wasn't doing nothing. Had a blown transistor. Amperage pull, even when that's just sitting now. Ain't even hooked up to nothing, so it ain't pulling nothing. It's pulling about 38 amps. Get this thing out. About 38 amps. That's pretty efficient to be putting out 500 watts and only pulling that many amps. It's pretty efficient. Well, it's back up and working. I had to tune some of the input to the 4-pill section of it. The variable's still working. It's doing like it should. I just talked to him on the phone a while ago. He said he hooked up a radio to it that he shouldn't have hooked up to it, and it took out that transistor. I was thinking it maybe took out it might have took out a MOSFET, but it didn't. 1000 watt slug. I got some of the reflect back from the antenna down. Got this reflect to stay pretty stable. It's about a watt. But if you're putting out 500 here, 1 watt there, that's 500 to 1. It's barely nothing. Audio, audio, audio. So you only, out of 500 watts, you're only losing 1. So that's 499 of whatever it's putting out. So that's pretty good. Decent. I could add some more attenuation to it and get it down, but it loses on the top end. And it's already got a shit ton of it factory built into it. I ain't added nothing to attenuation to it. It's the same one it was here. I changed to put 104s here, but that ain't attenuation. It's got the attenuation across here. Some of the newer ones, hell, that don't even have that. That's took out of it, but I'm not going to take it out of it. It needs a power wire upgrade. I think that would help a whole lot. Let's go over here to the source before it even gets to the amplifier, and let's see what the voltage is there. This is coming straight off the power supply. 14.94. It's actually about 14.8. Right at 9. Hold. Hold. So 1479. Alright. Let's go over here to the, alright, let's see if it's hooked up where it was at, to the actual power supply. Well, let's hook the ground up over here. Alright, checking voltage to the actual transformer. So it was 14, no, it's backwards, but it don't matter. So it's pretty much 14.8 over there. So it shouldn't drop no more than 14.79. Anything after that is losing it through the cables. So 14.79. Oh, so that's 14.63. Oh, losing more here is closer. Actually, this is the wires going through here, and then it's hitting that diode, then it's hitting the hot bus. So yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. It's losing some through it, not a lot, but enough to make a little bit of a difference. And these are short leads. It's number 8 gauge, good 8 gauge, and it's about this long before it gets to power supply. So it's losing a little bit through its connector, and then it's got little short wires here, and the ground wires there. But yeah, everything's working like it's supposed to. The preamp's working, the dial watt's working, the meter on the front's working. Oh, yellow, the light's working. Dial watt. Oh, oh, dial watt's working. The delay. About a second delay without it. Without it. With it. See the difference? No imbalances. It looks good on the FLIR. Before, when I looked through the FLIR, you could tell that transistor there was not coming on. It was not even showing up. It was showing a big imbalance here. So I pulled that cap out, checked that cap. I've checked this cap, I've checked this cap, which I didn't do it on film. But I've added a cap here, added about 100 puff there. That helped with some of the reflect back from the antenna. Changed from a 220, which was 216 puff, down to 180. That helped with some of the reflect, not a lot, but some of it. Put 104s there, better ones. Check the 1. This one's actually 1.5. Most time I put a 1.8, but you get a 5%. You get 1.5 most time. But that's 1.5 checking there, 1.5 checking here. This one was actually a little more. This was a 2. This is 1K. Everything checked on it to be like it was. This 330 I checked it, 330 I checked it. It was in 5% range. Check this resistor here. I actually took that resistor and moved it over to here, like some of the newer versions, and it was pretty much identical to right here. Some of them you'll see them here, some of them you'll see them here. In my book, it shows it here. Just adds attenuation to it. Some of the 667s I get in, this resistor here is not there. This one's got it. Every one of them's a little different. Majority of them I get in's got a transistor here instead of a MOSFET. This will be like maybe the 20th one I've seen with a MOSFET, with MOSFET finals on them, or drivers. But yeah, it's working like it's supposed to now. And I appreciate Henry sending me these plugs. Like I said, I bought some and they didn't come in right. Some of the ones came in was micro, and I thought they was full version, but they wasn't. But yeah, I got some coming in from Fat Boy. I didn't see him on his site the other day, but now it does. Now I can put this on my my 4-pill got going out with the remote on it. But everything's like it should. Like I said, if it was me, I'd upgrade this to 3/16 coax. This to 3/16 coax. Same length. Take the ground and put a ground here, and put a ground from right here over to this board. Take a hot wire and go from this board to this board, from the back of this transformer to the back of this transformer. Then I take and pretty much do it like BBI does it. Leave these in here and use this as a bridge. Put a 4 gauge across here and come off with your hot here and hot over to here. Upgrade it, and then of course from here to here and from here to here to get a little bit more flow. You got what you got. But it is a clean little amp. I think I'm going to clean it out a little bit more before I let it go. But it's 100% like he said it was. It's clean. To be what it is and old as it is. Yeah. Ain't nothing else I can really say about it. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, got to reflect back from the antenna down. That's what I was mostly concerned into, because that's what takes out this. Is now Texas Star's different than the way we build ours. On having to get something down and find an SWR in it. Believe it or not, some of the SWR coming back from a reflect was in this driver section here, and that's why then I added that cap on there, and I lost a good 10 watts reflect coming back from the antenna to the amp. So you got reflect comes back through your antenna. What don't get out through there is bottled up inside here somewhere. You got to find it. That's the thing about staged amps. When you stage it, you got to look through all the coaxes that is there, and you got to cancel some of that out. And if you don't cancel it out, it's still there. Even though it don't show it on that meter, it's still there. And that's the reason I don't fuck with them. I mean, I'll mess with them for somebody else built them and try to do the best I can with them, but sometimes it's just it's hard to cancel all that coax out. I don't know. Unless you're doing this stuff, it's hard to say. You learn something every day. If you don't, you're stagnant. You're not going anywhere. You never will. But every time you think you got something figured out, it'll show you don't. You'd have to be like Mr. Carlson or somebody like it would just, I don't know, bring the side of a dump truck. I don't know. But I know it's doing a lot better than what it was when it came in. And it's doing good enough that I'm satisfied with it. I'd run it. He could add a fan to it. And the way I'd add a fan to it is go up here to this this pole here. So I'll mark it with a red mark. You can go from here or here and come in with your hot. I normally either take this out and run the wire through a grommet through that and run it down along, run the hot over here to that, run the ground down here to the ground on a ground tab of the board, which would be here, and put a fan on the bottom of it. Put a fan kit on a fan, but that's totally up to you. But I think I'm going to take this and clean it up a little bit. It's not too bad, but I think it can look a little better. So alright, I don't know. I think I'm probably leave it alone. If I was taking it out and redoing everything on it, I would. But I think it's fine. This thing should have no problem lasting another 15 years or so. As long as you don't go hooking one of them big radios back into it again. Alright, there it is. I might see if he wants to stick on it. Alright, y'all have a good day. Later.